Hey, what's up guys, Joshua Boost here and welcome back to another Digimon video. Today I have another gameplay video. This is from a Store Championship Finals, which was technically in EX3 format, but literally nobody played the EX3 deck. It's between a very good friend of mine, Tom, on the left, who's playing Metalgarurumon. He's a really good card game player, as you'll probably see in the match. Like multiple premier event tops in Yu-Gi-Oh! And then on the right we have myself playing DarkKnightmon. I played Black or Grey for the Ultimate Cup, but then that didn't go so well, so I decided to go back to this for the Store Championship event the next day. So yeah, he's simply going to go into Gabu and then go into the Promo Garurumon. And you actually see me evolve into Chikuru and then go Pride Memory Boost, hitting Monitamon. I didn't quite see what I added there, but you probably saw if you were paying attention. He's simply going to go into the Raguru promo in Raising to put me to 1. So already building up a small stack, but no battle protection there. So not the ideal stack. Chigurumon is going to die to Gamamon there, and then Paugu is going to miss, revealing Nene. Going to pop the booster, go to 3. And then play a Skull Knightmon Mighty X mode for 4. Revealing 3 options: Skull Knight, BT10, Dark Knight, and Deadly X. Usually it's pretty good to add the Dark Knight here, just you're only running 4 copies and it is the best card in your deck. But I'm adding Deadly X mon here, so I think that probably means that I'm running a little low on pieces. Okay, Tom moving out there, activating Hammer Spark, going to 2, and then activating attack of his, which is the Analog Youth. And he's actually going to mill the X antibody option here, Garurumon, and then add Def X to his hand. And then he's going to swing and unsuspend, draw a card from Garuru. I think he is 7k right now. So if he hits to something big, then he does. That's way bigger than however big it might be. But this is going to trigger the Analog Youth. Gain 1 memory and hits Tsunomon, so the tech working out there. Evolving to a Modoki Betamon. And now if he has another Garurumon, that's just going to put me on 1 again. Which is pretty good, because it means that I won't be able to go for the Skull Knight attack, evolve for free into Dark Knight play. Since I'm at 1 and that play requires 2 memory. So yeah, just going to go evolve into Monitamon there. Looking quite good for me now though, because I am putting on the pressure and he for sure won't be able to do anything super strong on the next turn unless I hit something like a Davis or a memory boost in the security, which I don't, so that's good. Or unless he has multiple Hammer Spark, I guess, but if he has it, he has it. He's going to activate Cool Boy though, adding the Garurumon X antibody to his hand, so you will have 2 memory to work for sure next turn, if he wants to anyway. Actually going to evolve into Garurumon X antibody to just dig a little bit deeper, and then going to put me to 3 by playing Gamamon. And he's actually going to review another one of his stacks there. He's playing quite a weird build of Metalgarurumon, but yeah, it's the high speed plugin something, high speed plugin D maybe. I'm not 100% sure. It will come up in the match later though, so I'll talk a little bit about it then. But yeah, this is if everything works out, this is going to be game. Like if this Skull Knight into Dark Knight 7k is going to survive both checks, then or it has to survive the first check, right? Which it does, and then I think it died to the second, but it doesn't matter since the Chumon will be attacking for game. The Chumon being quite nice there, because even if I hit into something like Ice Wall or Hammer Spark, then I could still go for game. But yeah, he's going to make me start, which I think is very smart. Dark Knight is actually really bad at starting, because you're almost always going to give your opponent 3 or 4 memory, which is definitely not something you want to do, but really can't be helped. If you go into like Chikurumon evolving to Skull Knight, which is like, I guess, it's an alright opening play, but it's not ideal by any means. But then you do pressure opponent to 2, I guess. And then they're going to add the Dark Knight BT10 there. So I do have the Nene set up right now, and I started with a rookie, so it's not too bad, quite a good start. Tom going to go into the Gamamon X antibody, and then into Promo Garurumon, which is also not the ideal start. I swear this is like the first time I ever play against this deck where they don't automatically open Garurumon X antibody, Garurumon X antibody. They literally always open that. Blue memory boost there. I think the options are, the promo Rare Garurumon and another Garurumon X antibody, putting a Hammer Spark and Blitz Omni to the bottom. I don't think we will get to see it, but Tom is also playing like a bunch of the other. I think he's on like both Merciful mode and the new X antibody as well. So really tagged out. The memory boost is like one of the hardest cards to play against. I think not just for DarkKnightmon but for any deck, and even like DarkKnightmon supposedly you could counterplay it a little because I'm on the Chumons, but not seeing those in this game. And then it's just so hard to play around the memory boost, right? Because Davis at least always puts you to 3, but if there's multiple memory boosts, like, there's really nothing you can do about it. And if you have to put him on 2 or 3 even in this deck, then that means he will be able to go to 5 or even 7 if he has 2, so quite ridiculous. Anyway, we see the promo swing, then evolve into the Metalgarurumon X with the X antibody option, bounce the Mighty X to hand, and then do a check and survive the check. The Metalgarurumon is now a blocker as well. I must note that I'm playing a triple Iron Fist Onslaught though, so if I have one of those in... I actually think I had one of those in hand, but I didn't want to give him too many memory, but in hindsight I think I should have just Onslaughed him here. Even though going into the BT7, the BT10 Dark Knight and putting him to 1 is also quite nice. If he can't evolve his promo Garurumon up into another, into like Rare Garurumon X or another Metalgarurumon, then next turn I will be able to, if I do have the option for that, will be able to go into the BT10 DarkKnightmon and de-digivolve his deck into the Garurumon and then delete it. It's going to evolve into Sagittarius mode here, which can't trigger its effect since there is no Tamer in play, but then the Metalgarurumon is going to bounce the Chikurumon to hand anyway. I do have the option to block here, which I think is correct, yeah. Because it will also net me another Surge, right, with the Mighty X mode as you see here. Adding another Nanite to my hand, so not the best start, but better than nothing. And bouncing I think it was the Skull Knightmon to my hand. Once again evolving into the Chikuri. And like right now, if I would play the Onslaught, it would be a lot less good because there is a stack in Racing, right? So if he wants to, if I put him on a lot of memory, he can just build up that stack again and then go for a huge push. So the time to do it was definitely less turn, and again in hindsight, I think was probably the better play. I can see how the DarkKnightmon play seemed good to me at the time. But yeah, looking at it now, Onslaught would have been a lot better because even if he could have built up in Racing, I could have potentially set up like a couple blockers on the turn after. Yeah. So now I'm slowly building up my Racing with the Skull Knightmon. So I can go for a push later on. But it's already looking quite rough because I do need to out his stack. And then if I do that, he already has another stack built up quite nicely in the back there, which is already up to a level 4. So yeah, the Garurumon X going to bounce the Deadly X to my hand. And I'm going to block to once again bounce Deadly X to a hand. And then again go for Mighty X and add the BT10 Dark Knight to my hand, milling Def X, which doesn't do anything in this matchup anyway. Now he's going to go for 2 checks, which I could have blocked with my Mighty X1. I do get lucky here. He hits into once again into the Dark Knight X antibody, and that means that if I do have another of the de-digivolve DarkKnightmon, I will be able to out his stack. I'm pretty sure because he had to remove 2 level 5s. Unless, of course, he goes into a level 6 now, which I think he might. Go into Hammer Spark first. We saw him think about the promo Garurumon for a moment, but now he's going to go evolve for 1, or what? Yeah, evolve for 1 with the Metalgarurumon, and then the edit made that look a little bit weird, but yeah, I was just reading the Metalgarurumon, I think. So yeah, he goes to 1 and then puts me to 2 by going into the promo Yeah, the promo Wacky. Now I'm going to do the Digivolve play, but it's not as impactful. Now he has 2 level 5 stacks, and it's really, really looking not so good for Dark Knight. And now he puts me to 9 with Dev X, and yeah, once again I can out it. I do have Onslaught in my hand, but it's not going to cut it, right? Even though I guess potentially I could go for the BT10 DarkKnightmon to out his stack and then Onslaught. I guess I could do that. Then I would put him to 3, which actually doesn't seem that bad. But yeah, I think this turn is basically yeah, I don't play this out so well. Because I remember now. Like I have to dig for the BT10 DarkKnightmon because I don't have access to it right now because I already burned like 2 early game, and I also used the Immortal Ruler already. So that's why I can't. Like if I did have access to the BT10 DarkKnightmon and then the Onslaught, that would have been like a really good play. I go Monita here, and then we do see me pick it up, accidentally reveal 5 cards. Whoops. Going to add the BT10 Dark Knight and Monita there, but at this point it's just too late, right? I don't really think there's like a way I can win, even though I do go into the DarkKnightmon now, and I do have 2 blockers on the field. Defect's going to delete Monita there. The Cavalier mode is a blocker because of his own effect. It just says on Digivolve it gains jamming and blocker. And then Nene of course gives the DarkKnightmon blocker, but yeah, not looking so good right now. Going to play another Coolber, go to 0. Yeah, so basically what happens is he adds the Wacky X antibody to his hand, and I just have to concede the game there. Pretty much. Because he will be able to attack multiple times, and then I just kind of lose. Like if he outs the board, there's just no way for me to get back into the game at all. Yeah, so I make him start. He once again goes into X antibody, then plays the memory boost, revealing 4. And I think the options here are just the promo Garurumon. I think the other one was the Metalgarurumon X. So yeah, giving me 3 memory to work with, which is very nice because you know a lot of the cards in DarkKnightmon deck are 4 cost, so I will be able to memory choke them. But actually don't seem to have any, so I'm just going to go into Monitamon at Monitamon and DarkKnightmon BT10. So double hit, always nice, but now that means I won't be able to memory choke him. Not at all even, I'm just going to play the Monitamon and then again double hit, which is nice, but we do see 1 Onslaught going to the bottom of the deck, which is a little bit of a shame. We really want to see the insecurity, of course. In fact, it was even a reason I played 3 just because I expected, you know, Grandis or Metalgarurumon, which are both really bad matchups for this deck, but then I wanted to make it a little bit better with the Iron Fists. Garurumon X antibody being added to the hand there, so slowly building up the stack. I'm just going to put on the early aggression, but sadly hit into Ice Wall to put me to 0. And I don't get to trigger the Pagumon, which is a shame, of course. Just going to play Nene. Revealing from Immortal Ruler, double Deadly X and BT10 DarkKnightmon. And if I remember correctly, I didn't have like any combo pieces at all in my hand, so that's why I decided to add the Deadly X, even though it might seem the worst add out of all those. And I am on only 1 Immortal Ruler in this list, so we're just not seeing that again, which is a little bit of a shame because that card is really good. Even though it's better in grindy matchups, and this tends to not be a grindy matchup. However, as you can probably tell by the length of the video, it actually will be a very grindy game 3, which is definitely rare. So yeah, we see him go into the Garurumon X antibody, then activate the option, swing, and go into the Wacky X. And he's actually attacking the Chikurumon. And he's going to bounce on some Monitamons with the on-digivolving effect. And then Bagu going to add another Deadly X, I think. So probably feeling pretty bad about not adding that Immortal Ruler right about now. But you know, I'm only playing 3 Deadly Axemon and I already saw 2, so while you odds going to go for another swing. Just 1 check though, which is gonna be Nene, so another add. And the options are the DarkKnightmon X antibody or another Nene, but you know, already 2 on the field, so won't be needing those. Going up to 4 by popping double memory boost, so yeah, he seems to be he also needs to be digging for some pieces, right? It seems doesn't have quite what he wants, even though it is looking like good. It's probably not what he wants. Goes into the Garurumon X antibody, and going to add. I think it was a Garurumon, the BT5 one, but might have been the promo Garurumon as well. Couldn't quite tell there. Memory boost put me to 2. Lots of options there. Garurumon X antibody, and the Metalgarurumon EX1, which he adds. So if he didn't have the pieces before, he surely has the pieces now. I'm going to evolve into Chikurimon. And go for the DarkKnightmon X antibody, because that actually means I can out the big stack, and all of a sudden pretty big tempo swing there, and it's looking kind of good for me, even though he does have a guy in front and 4 memory to work with, and if he wants we can of course just slowly start building in the back again. Going to evolve for 2, then gain 1 memory since there is a Gabumon in the stack with the BT5 Garurumon. Pop the boost, go to 3. Probably going to go aggro once again here, I think. I'm going to go, yeah, okay, that's fair. Cool boy. A miss, but you know, that means he's going to be digging again. And we actually see the plugin in his hand right now. And this card is insane against the DarkKnightmon deck, because it says your Digimon gains jamming and it can't be blocked. So DarkKnightmon can have all the blockers in the world on the field, but it literally doesn't matter. So he's going to swing here with 7k. I'm going to block and float into the Deadly Axemon. I think he probably wants to out the... what's it called? The DarkKnightmon. Yeah, the DarkKnightmon, so I would be able to go up into the big guy. Maybe I should have not blocked, but it's a little bit scary, right? Because Belga can suddenly come out and just like do so many checks. So like every check they do, it just means you're really putting yourself out there to be losing. What I'm doing here is I want to go for a push with the Skull Knightmon play, which I'm going to do anyway. But this hit into the X antibody option really hurts, because I was going to memory choke him and end my turn by evolving into the DarkKnightmon X antibody, and then pop one of the Nene and unsuspend him, add something back. But yeah, as we can see, it wouldn't have worked anyway, because the DarkKnightmon I evolve into for free gets deleted. But yeah, that was the line I was going to go for, and then put him to 1, and then I have like a really big blocker, and it would look kind of nice for me. But now I'm just gonna go Digicross into the Mighty X mode, at Cavalier mode on my hand, I'm pretty sure. And now he is going to be able to push. I do have 1 blocker. It's a small one though, and I'm quite sure he can. The Garurumon X antibody can bounce level 4, I think, right? So yeah, okay, he's going to activate the high speed plugin here. And this is like the most crucial turn in the entire match, to be honest. He's going to swing here. I can't block. And then I think he actually draws the Garurumon promo here from the Garurumon draw. So that's really good for him. Draw 2 cards for Evolve and 1 for Cool Boy. Bounce my guy. And now he's going to do 2 checks, which are both nothing. Skull Knightmon, DarkKnightmon, 2 security remaining. So yeah, going to go into the Mel guy here for essentially 1, you know, gain back 3 memory. So he is at the 0. And so basically what he can do here, he has Blitz Omni in his hands. He can just attack my security and then Blitz Omni for game. But he's really scared of the Iron Fisted Onslaught, and he's like, yeah, he's playing it safe, sorta, by doing this. It was a little bit 50-50, right? Because I think we saw just one Iron Fist at Onslaught, and he doesn't know how many I'm playing, but he thinks 4, I'm pretty sure. And then, as you can see, one of the Iron Fists is put at the bottom of the deck, and there is no insecurity. And now I'm breaking my head, but what's eventually going to happen is I'm just going to evolve into Chikuru there, and then I'm going to play 2 blockers, a Monitamon, and then put them to 1 by Digicrossing into the Skullknightmon Deadly X mode. And the fun fact is actually Tom mentioned to me here that that was the play to beat him. Like, if I would do that, I would just win the game. And that's exactly what I'm going to do here. So yeah, double blocker. That's it, right? That's the game. He should have just gone for the Metalgarurumon push. I got really lucky there, not gonna lie. Unlucky Onslaught wasn't in the security, but lucky that he wanted to play it safe, and now he just can't deal with my field. Well, he can deal with my field, but he can't deal with the Chikuri that's in the back. He's just considering his options here. He's eventually going to hatch Tunomon and then evolve into Gabumon. So potentially what he could do is attack, I have to block, and then he can like play the, what's it called, Metal Storm to bounce the other Digimon. But yeah, there's just a guy in racing that he can't possibly deal with. And yeah, that's it. That's going to be the game. And as you can see, he scoops here. And yeah, DarkKnightmon takes the Store Championship. Yeah, GG, attack for game.